Today we're doing our livestock guardian dog, or LGD, collaboration. There's a whole bunch of channels that are doing this. You can see the links to their videos and their channels in the description below. I think it was kind of headed up by Chick-a-woof Ranch and the Texas boys, but there's a bunch of channels that have done it. And I'll leave their links in the description below, but we're going to tell you why we have an LGD and maybe some of the pros and cons of having one. First, let me tell you what Archie, or Archibald, our Great Pyrenees, we think he's full-blood, we're not sure, but let me tell you what he guards here at Teal House Farm. Archie protects cats. Archie protects little people. Is he a good guard dog?
He's nice.
He's nice? You get to pet him? Archie protects our juvenile birds that are not quite free range yet. They're still in their pen. Soon to be free range though. I know it's hard to see him in there, but Archie protects our ducks that will also be free range very soon. Archibald also protects our free range chickens, though Wallace would tell you he doesn't need any protecting. He thinks he's man enough for the job by himself. Predators in Missouri, we have a little bit of everything. We've got, I'd say the main ones here, probably foxes, raccoons, possums, maybe skunks. In Missouri, we do have mountain lions or cougars, and we do have black bears, but they aren't very prevalent. And so I'd say around here, most of what I've seen, I know we've got a fox around here, and definitely raccoons and possums just about everywhere. We just have one LGD, and that's Archie, like I said before, and we think he's a Great Pyrenees. He's getting old though, and we've got friends that just had puppies that are, I think they're 3/4 Great Pyrenees and 1/4 Lab-ish, somewhere around there. And we're thinking about getting 2 puppies from them so that Archie can kind of train them up, and eventually they can replace Archie. Now, Archie has kind of a long backstory as to how we got him. Originally, Archie was just a pet and a companion for our Great Dane when we lived in the city. One reason we got Archie is because we were told that he was definitely not an alpha dog, and so we figured he would get along great with our Great Dane. She wasn't an alpha dog really, but we just wanted someone that we knew, or wanted a dog that we knew would get along great with our Great Dane. And they did. They were best friends. I forgot to mention that we adopted Archie. He looks a lot like a full-blood Great Pyrenees, but we aren't sure about that. That's just kind of our guess. But we know he at least has some Great Pyrenees in him. Well, our Great Dane ended up passing away, and then we moved out here to the country. And Archie wasn't too sure what to make of all those changes at first. And in fact, we had been told that they had tried to adopt him out to a couple of farms before, and it just didn't work out. They said he wasn't any good. So we're trying to figure out, what are we gonna do with Archie moving out here into the country if a couple other farms already said that he's no good. So we decided to give Archie a shot before we even went and tried to get puppies or another adult dog. And so far, he's been great. Let me tell you 2 stories about Archie. We've only been living here for, I guess, in the house for a year, and we've not had our chickens for very long. I'd say maybe a month and a half ago or so, we have a fox in the area. I see him almost every night down by the highway, and it was getting about dusk, and that fox was on the edge of our kind of forest, our woods over here, and Archie was sitting at night. Archie always sits around the front of the property. He makes his loops and his passes, but he's usually around the front of the property. And he alerted, he saw that fox and went after it, and he was angry. He chased that fox across the neighbor's field, and he did a great job. And then the other thing that happened, this was a month ago or so, we were away. Anyway, we had been out and about that day, and the neighbors pulled in behind us once we got back home that night. And the neighbor's son got out and he said, "Hey, we have this little husky dog that we found running around. I don't know if it's yours." And he said, we came by earlier. We weren't sure if you guys were home. He said, "We pulled up and I got that husky dog out." And he said, "Your big white fluffy dog came out of nowhere and wouldn't let us get to the front door." So that gives me assurance that even when we aren't here, Archie is doing his job. I would also say that LGDs, at least in our opinion, in the Great Pyrenees, what Archie is really good with kids. We don't allow our kids to just wrestle with him, but if there's a little baby next to him that somehow grabs a piece of fur or just, you know how kids are kind of clumsy or whatever, Archie is never freaked out around him. We don't leave him alone with him, but he's great with the kids. He does a great job with them. Now, let me tell you some cons to our situation with Archie. First, we didn't raise him, and Archie was abused by a man, we're pretty sure. We first got Archie, and he was he was a city dwelling dog. If I walked into the room, he would just dive for a corner or run to the back door as fast as he could. He almost couldn't stand being in the same room as me. Laura, my wife, it wasn't as big of a deal, but if I was in the same room, he'd sit over in the corner just shaking. The second con to having a large guard dog that I can think of, it just depends on your property and your situation. We have 10 acres and it is not all fenced off properly. We're going to be getting there eventually, but it's not all fenced off. Archie does not have to stay on our 10 acres. He can go wherever he wants, really. But he's old now. He's probably, we think he's about 10 years old or so, 10 or 11. So he's older and he just doesn't like to roam as much anymore. Number 3, I would say that large guard dogs aren't going to win. I would say that large guard dogs aren't going to win any brownie points in the whole obedience training kind of area. There he is. That's Archie. You good boy, Arch. You good boy, Arch. Yeah, he good boy. He's a good boy. As you can tell, Archie got kind of a rough haircut. It's not very pretty this last time, but it keeps him cool for the summer and feeling a whole lot better. I know down south it gets a lot hotter and a lot more humid, but that'll do the trick for here. We're gonna try the whole puppy thing next, and so if you wanna stick around on our channel, the puppies were just born, so we're not gonna get them for 8, 9, 10 weeks, something like that. But when we do, it should be a lot of fun. I know there'll be some bumps along the way and some learning that'll go on by us and the puppies. But who doesn't like an adorable little ball of fur? It's gonna be fun. So anyway, thanks for the invite to do this collaboration. We're really excited about it. The videos have been great so far. That's all we've got for you today. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you later.